Hello. Watch out. I'm just going to wait a little bit for some more people to get in here. Travis, good to see you. Hello, Joseph Grohl. And we're getting a few people in here. Oh, that's got to be fun moving a whole sled dog team. I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes to see if anybody else comes in. As you might have seen in the description and stuff, we're actually going to be talking about training humans today, because that is part of the training dogs thing. So funny, Ken. Hello, K&D Scrapping. Welcome. Hello, Nora. Good to see you. I'm just starting a couple minutes. Just wait for a couple more people to get in here. Give it about 2 more minutes here. Come here, Chloe. Come here. Anyway, I can get you up here. Yeah, funny, K&D. Where's Spike? Spike, come here. Come here, Spike. Spike. Come here, Spike. Spike. Okay. Come here, Chloe. Oh, girl. Another minute, guys. Be ready.
Maybe Travis might. Much shit done yet?
All right. I'm going to get started. Here, Chloe. You got one more.
I have to bear up the noise because I know it catches on.
All right. So today we are going to talk about training humans, because as Cesar Millan says, he trains humans, he rehabilitates dogs. So Fix my camera here. Wait, there we go. So, training the humans, there's two aspects to training the humans. You have to train yourself first, and then you can train other people. Whoops, hang on a second. I gotta get this moved over. There we go. So,
Oh, you dumbass.
this is what Cesar has to say about training humans. He says, I believe that the walk is the most important daily feature of our relationship with our dogs. It is not just about the physical exercise. It is also about the best way to affirm your place as pack leader. Done right, it's the perfect time to let go and really connect with your dog. It might seem like the most natural thing in the world. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, I'm reading the right thing. Might seem like the most natural thing in the world to go walk with your dog, but it's surprising how many humans mess it up. And the reason is very simple. We think too much. When you and your dog are walking, you need to, as much as possible, be in the moment and aware of your surroundings. That's hard to do if your mind is focused on a problem you're having at work or you're busy texting with a friend. Trust me, you will both get so much more out of the experience if you are fully present for the 30 minutes or so you are out with the dog. And then Cesar says this. My rule is that a dog should be in a calm, submissive state before you set off on the walk. Hello, Eli. Hello, Dave Larson. It is just as important that you are in a calm state too. Your dog is going to pick up your energy and will be looking to you for that calm, assertive leadership. You can't fool a dog. If you are agitated, she will know. On the walk, your position as pack leader is vitally important because your dog is looking to you to protect her from danger. So try to remember that just because you don't see something as a danger, it might be something that scares your dog. You should know your animal and be prepared ahead of time. Do bicycles or skateboards upset her? Does she become nervous around dogs she doesn't know? If you stay conscious of your surroundings, you should be able to see potentially unsettling situations before they arise. You can react calmly, perhaps changing to a different road or steering your dog to the opposite sidewalk to avoid another dog. The worst thing you can do is be caught off by surprise and react in a panicky manner, because that is just going to reinforce your dog's problem. So before you set off, think about your route and what you may encounter. Here's a tip that I think will help you. Try to walk with your back straight, head up, and eyes forward. Not only will this help you scan the area ahead, it's also the physical posture of a pack leader. You will find that walking like this helps encourage you to be calm and assertive. And being calm and assertive is the first thing you need to teach yourself when dealing with your dog. As the pack leader, you are also responsible for the safety of your pack, which for most of us means being aware of traffic. Remember, it's not just the cars on the highway that you have to be concerned with. Be on the lookout for cars turning in or backing out of driveways, or those that fail to make a full stop at an intersection. Get to know the other people that walk dogs on the same route as you, and try to see which dogs are calm and in control and which are not. Walkers who are not in control are much more likely to be the cause of an incident because their dogs are more likely to start barking or jumping or snapping, all of which can provoke a reaction from your dog. With practice, you can learn to determine whether an approaching walker is in control or not. Observe whether his dog is pulling ahead of him on the leash. Does he shout at his dog to correct her? Does he appear to be in control, or is the walker tense and anxious? If you see the situation in advance, you can usually change direction. But even if it's too late for that, don't react in a distressed way and unnerve your dog by yanking on her leash. Use your body to turn and redirect your dog so she is facing away from the oncoming dog. Communicate with other people that you meet walking dogs. Let them know if your dog is nervous around other animals, or ask if theirs are friendly. If an encounter with another walker starts to go bad for any reason, calmly walk away. If you were at fault, apologize. If not, don't wait around demanding an apology. The tension will only escalate the anxiety in your dog. Walking your dog should be something you look forward to every day. I know that for me it is, and with these few simple steps, it will be for you too. So that's what Cesar Millan has to say. That's how he trains people to walk their dogs. That's what he tells them. And hello, Breaking the Silence, welcome. So that's just a quickie from Cesar Millan on his basics on walking the dog, which is his first thing that he actually trains people to do. He says that the walk is the most important. Chloe, stop. She likes to lick the couch. He says that the walk is the most important thing for a dog and you to develop that bond between you and to cement your pack leadership over the dog. And then he, like, you know, he gives the steps. And if any of you want the link to that article, let me know and I can get it to you. So the next thing in training humans is having to train your friends and family. And this one, I want to hear from you guys what your experiences are, because I know for me, I have, especially with Chloe, you know, she was abused and I've had to work with her for a long time and she still has issues. And one of those issues is strangers or people she doesn't know very well coming to the door and how they interact with her. And I'm in particular right now dealing with one neighbor that she's just met, and he has a very hard time listening to me when I tell him how to interact with her, which is at this point essentially ignoring her completely. And he actually tries to raise his voice over her barking to get her to stop barking, which just makes her bark more. So I'm trying to train the neighbor. So, okay, Ken, I will do that. I will put the link for that article in the comments. So if you guys want to go back and read it, you can. But anyway, so I know everybody has their own rules with their dogs. They have their own ways that they do things. And, you know, I'm struggling with that neighbor, trying to get him to just ignore my dog while she gets to know him on her level. Do any of you guys have, you know, things that people you're having to deal with, friends, family, not dealing with your dogs the way you want them to? And does anybody want to come up on panel just and talk about their dogs or training their dogs or anything like that?
I know one that used to drive me nuts. Is people talking baby talk to my dogs and getting them all wound up.
Oh,
and it won't stop.
Ken just said that one that drives him nuts is people talking baby talk to his dogs and getting the dogs all wound up and not stopping when he asks them to. So,
well, it's a puppy, that shit. And it just winds them up, and then they don't want to listen.
I'm going to put the link for the chat. Whoops, that's not the link for the chat. Hold on. I don't want to put that in there. I'm going to put the link for the chat, or for the StreamYards in the chat. And
did you see my last comment?
Yeah, I did. So if anybody wants to come up on panel, they are welcome. Yeah, Eli, you can come up. I've definitely looked into her being bored, and I have activity toys for her. I have a snuffle mat. I play with her. And the second I stop, I mean, the second I turn my back, she goes back to licking the couch. So I've been correcting it, but yeah. And just know if you want to come up, I'm going to ask you to do an action so that I can tell you're not a video. And also, what are ways that you actually do train your friends and family? Are there ways that you have found that you can talk to them to get them to understand what you want them to do? Or are they real stubborn? You know, do they ignore you like my neighbor is doing to me right now? I know with my parents, they've been real willing to do anything I've asked them to do to help my dogs, and you know, to work with Chloe especially. And you know, if I have them give her treats or whatever it is, you know, they're more than willing to do that. So it's pretty cool to get that support. So I know this is kind of short, but you know, I don't want to cram lots of different topics down your throat. Just one or two little things at a time, and we can talk about it if y'all want to. So that's what I do, Travis. I correct her, and then I have her go to a different part of the couch where she doesn't lick normally, and it stops it for a while. So yeah, humans are definitely more difficult than dogs. You can't just hold a treat up in front of a human and get him to do what you want. So waiting for Eli. He said he was going to come up. Travis, are you able to come up on panel? Or anybody else that wants to? Yep, Travis, you have to definitely do that when you've got that many dogs. I'm trying to find a way to find a happy medium between get out, you know, treat my dog this way or get out, and you know, I don't know. I don't want to kick my neighbors out of my house, but get a dog clicker for the humans or a spray bottle of water. That might work for the neighbor. Every time he raises his voice over the dog, just spray him in the face. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Chloe, come. 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 Oh, girl. Here we go. So does anybody have any dog related questions? It can be on any topic. I'll see if I can answer it. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, the human beings need a spike collar or a shot collar. That might work. Every time he raises his voice, he gets a shock. Yeah, start with a clicker, see how smart the human is you're trying to train. Oh, no good, Travis. So Cindy says, how do I keep my dogs quiet when people are just walking by? The three of them go crazy. So my thoughts on this one, kind of going by what Cesar would do, or what I've seen him do on his shows. First, if they're barking like at the door or at the window, get between them and whatever they're barking at. So if it's the window, physically get your body between the dogs and the window, and then make a sound, go eh, or no, or shh, or something like that, and get their attention. That'll get them to stop barking briefly, and then they'll go back to barking, and you do it again. And stand tall with your head back and your head up and your shoulders back, and just project the energy that you want them to stop barking, and that you're in control and it's okay, and they don't need to do that. And then just continue to block them from whatever they're barking at, and kind of herd them with your body towards another room or their bed or the couch. Like for my dogs, it's the couch. I just say couch, and they get on the couch. I had to train them to do that, but I did that with my body. So, oops, hold on a second. Hey, Eli, show me 2 fingers. There we go. Hello, Eli.
Hey, what's up? How's everything?
So basically, it's all about your energy getting between the dogs and what they're barking at, making that distracting sound, and then herding them towards where you want them to be, and then once they're there, like if it's their beds, and you can get them in their beds and laying down, treat them. Make sure they know they're doing the right thing by going where you want them to go. I would start with that. That's kind of the basics of getting a dog to stop barking. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So how are you, Eli?
I'm just a little hurting. That's all. Like, just a little bit. It's okay. So, how are you doing?
No, not too bad. Kind of in the same boat there, but
I just have some cramping in my thigh, and it's not that bad. I'm good. I need a little distraction. So.
And yeah, Cindy, Travis has it right. If you can catch the dogs before the people go by and distract them. I mean, like with my dogs, I distract them I have mini training treats, and I will actually work on like a trick with them while something is going on outside, and they're more focused on the food than they are on what's going on outside, and they don't bark. So that's another real good thing. So
my dog just barks no matter what. My fiance's dog barks. He just barks at the door for nothing. There's no one there, and he barks. I'm just like,
and you got to teach him not to do that. That's definitely a training issue. I had to. My dogs will just all of a sudden stand up and bark, and one starts it and then the other one does it, and I have to make them lay down and calm down, and then I go check and make sure there's nothing outside, and I tell them it's okay, and hey, Carrie Ann.
How about if they're like barking at a wall, like at a corner? Mm-hmm. That would be creepy. And like you still give them a treat. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I just have to go to that little scenario's paranormal. Sorry.
Yeah. We had a dog that was blind that used to stand there and I think he thought he was at the door, but he'd be like standing in front of the refrigerator.
What?
It's close to the fridge.
Oh, poor thing. Hi, everybody. I know. Hi, Carrie and company.
Cindy, I would stop them from going to the backyard. You need to get control of the situation. And the first thing to do would definitely be to block them from going to the backyard.
Especially having a doggy door. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry for interrupting you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, we've got a doggy door, and sometimes I actually have to stop my dogs from going out the back and barking out the back door. So, yeah, I understand that problem. Stop them from going out the back and herd them to where you want them to be. This is you taking control and saying, that's not acceptable. This is where I want you to be. And then you get a treat. You may have to block the doggy door or be quicker than the dogs, or even go outside and bring the dogs back in and get them to go where you want them to go. I sometimes have to go out on my back porch and get the dogs to come back in from the doggy door because they're not listening. So it's all about actually getting your butt up and going and doing it and using your body to show the dogs where you want them to be and what you want them to do.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that. I would always say,
oh, go ahead.
I would always say, hey, be quiet. Come on, let's go. Come on. Let's go. I'll like, I'm not, I'll just say, hey, come on, let's go do something. Come on. You know, I'll come over and cuddle with me. And then he's all jumps on my lap. And I was just like, oh, so cute. And then all of a sudden again, I'm just like, oh, come on.
Well, so many people talk to their dogs and use English to communicate with their dogs, and the dogs hear blah, 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 you know?
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
Over time, they do learn words and associate words with actions. And you can teach your dog to associate, like, I use enough for them to stop barking outside. And they associate that with shut my mouth and run inside and I'll get a treat, you know?
So
and
what I want to know is, do you think dogs actually like understand the English on the I mean, like, if you, I mean, I know you told me that a second ago that dogs don't understand what you're saying, but like you said, later in time they will understand you. But do you think okay, here's what I understand. Okay, do dogs see black and white or color? That's what I want to know. Dogs, and if they understand you. Sorry,
dogs see some, like, they see shades of gray and some pale color, as what I understand. And as far as dogs, like what they understand, dogs can be taught. It's basically word association. Like, you know that this is a lighter.
Yeah.
The word for this item is a lighter.
Yeah.
And a dog can be taught, you know, like if you ask your dogs, are you hungry? They'll perk up their ears and tilt their head because they know that that means they're going to get food.
Yeah.
They associate the words, are you hungry, with, oh yeah, I'm going to get something to eat, you know?
Yeah.
They don't think in English like we do in complete sentences or anything like that. They don't think in English at all. You know, they know just they live in the moment, and I don't imagine there's any form of speech going on that we would recognize at all, you know.
Yeah. Question about that. What I always want to know is, okay, I think she froze. Oh wait. So she can answer. I don't know if she can hear me or not, but I'll just say it. Hi guys. I was just saying, with dogs, do they? Okay, there she goes.
Whoa, am I back?
Okay, yeah, you're back. You keep on freezing. Yeah, you keep on freezing. I was gonna ask. Okay, I think she's frozen.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, you're here. You're good. Yeah.
Hello.
You're here. I hear you. You're good.
You there?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. I'm back.
Yeah.
I lost connection for a second there.
Okay. You're. No, it's okay. It's okay. What I want to know is like, I forgot now. What was I gonna tell? Man, I should have said it. Huh. Because okay, what was I gonna say? Um, I know that dog. I know you told me about the colors of the dogs, right? And the colors what they see and everything. Um, but so you're saying they don't. So the word. Would you go back to the lighter? I think I'll remember that when you told me about the lighter. Okay, the lighter. Okay, I see a
They
lighter.
they
You froze after
understand
that.
you. Okay, you associate this item with the word lighter.
Yeah.
Dogs can learn to associate. Chloe, quit. Get up here. Get up here.
It's sort of like a man. It's sort of like if you're married and the husband always is a hard headed punk and I'm not gonna cuss. so they can be trained to listen. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. But no,
Well,
I don't you
in every relationship, there's a little bit of training that goes on. I mean, you learn what your partner likes and you do
Yeah.
those things your partner likes. Your
exactly.
partner knows what you like and does those things. So hang on just a second. I got to tell Ken something.
Okay. I think I got her in trouble. Oops.
Anyway, so there's always a little bit of training that goes on in any kind of relationship, just more so between a dog and a human. Holy cow, the YouTube site is still frozen.
Oh, that's another question. Okay, with dogs, how they communicate with other dogs, do you think that's a language? Like when they bark and everything, like, and then another dog barks and another dog barks, like it's a domino effect. Like, I'm sorry.
It is a form of language. They do know that certain barks and yips mean certain things, certain howls mean certain things. Yeah, it's definitely a language of its own, but it's something that humans haven't been able to really crack. So,
because I know they have pets and everything. They have they have that, and it makes you think that they do communicate in some way. That like you said, that humans don't know. It's part of the human mind that we don't know about because, I mean, they're mammals and we're human.
Yeah. Travis just said, if a dog gets scared, make a safe zone area that's just for them. And Ken asked, how do you do that? Ken, do you remember when Mozart had that little space to the right of my chair that had like a pillow and a couple toys? That was exactly what that was for.
Oh, his safe spot?
Because when we moved in, he had never lived with other dogs. He had only lived with cats.
Oh.
And he was scared of Baby especially. And so I made a little space that he could kind of hop into that the other dogs couldn't get into. So Gaffa says, hi Gaffa, welcome. Gaffa says that animals understand tone and pitch, so we need to learn this when talking to them. Gaffa, you're welcome to come up on panel.
Yes, I want to hear what he has to say.
If you don't want to.
It's interesting topic. Wow, but it makes you think though, like to actually go in. I mean, I would love to go in the pet's mind. I know all they do is eat, but I bet there's more to them than just hunger.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And with hunger, it can mean comfort zone. It can mean sadness. It can mean a lot.
Well, dogs, if they're healthy,
what's up, Gaffa?
Don't eat unless they are actually physically hungry. If
actually,
there's,
no, I disagree.
Well, I know
dogs will eat in a pack manner. So if there's a pack, they get in and they eat as much as they possibly can because there's a chance they're going to miss out. If they're alone, they'll only eat when they're hungry because there's nothing to compete against.
Yeah.
And that's the downfall about dogs and cats. I've
experienced that with my own dogs. I actually had to start feeding them separately out of their own bowls and teach them which bowl was theirs because they were competition eating. basically. And Spike got fat from it, so
Yeah.
I had to
Cats
put him on
I
a
got
diet.
2 cats. I got 2 cats. They'll do the same thing. They will competition eat. I got one that's fatter than the other because it allowed to eat that one, and it'll make itself sick trying to do it. And then
Yep.
now the one that's skinny is doing it as well. She's trying to eat as much as she possibly can because the other one will just eat it all up on it, and then she'll throw a dinner up because she's not used to it, and then she ends up being skinny anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It-
all animals need a safe spot. They need somewhere where they feel safe
Yeah, I was
and they
gonna
feel
say- I was
secure.
gonna say
And the bottom line is, when your cat's stressing, find out what the cat needs and what it feels good with. My cats have got a spot. The laundry is theirs. When it's time for them to go to sleep, that's where they go. When they feel a little bit stressed or scared, they go straight to the laundry because that's where they feel the most comfortable. They've got a quilt, one of my old quilts in there because in their idea, the cats, I'm basically the pack leader, so they go to where they feel more secure. And my smell on my quilt is what makes them calm down and settle down, and that's where they like to lay. And I noticed that because when they choose spots to lay, it's always on my clothes or where my stuff is. So I thought, well, I might as well give up stuff so they've got a spot and a room of their own that they can feel comfortable in.
Yeah. That's pretty much what Travis is saying too. What you do is take one section of the house, a little tiny section with little traffic going by, tell them that that's their safe zone, and you train them that that's their spot, their safe spot. And
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
Ken says dogs understand words because every time he says the F words, the dogs would cringe. So
it's not just words. It's more to do with tone. The actual word doesn't matter as much. You can say
Yep.
exactly the same word. You can say like fire truck, but if you say it in the same tone that you say the word F-U-C-K, the animal will take it as that's a mean word because the tone and the way you say it reminds them of the time where you're being nasty to them. Because nobody ever swears nicely.
yeah, exactly.
We're always in a derogative or a sense where we say something really profound in a tone that sounds the same, basically.
Yep. Yep. It's a lot like humans. I mean, if you're talking to a person and you start cussing at them, they're gonna step back and wonder what's going on.
Yeah, it's the same with my daughter. She got.
It was even when I went, oh, you little fucker, like that, and he
Oh.
would go. So explain that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what
Oh.
I didn't get.
No, that's just you, Ken.
That's just you, Ken.
I don't know
Because I can say that word to the dogs in a nice tone,
Well, how
and they
about
don't
this?
do it. But if I say it in a nasty tone, they react.
Same
Well, how about-
thing with B-R-E-A-T.
Yeah.
I could do that to babies, say that word, and it didn't matter if I said it in a mean voice or not. That's what I was trying to show somebody that it doesn't matter. They know the word.
Yeah, and it's been proven that dogs can learn actual words and use the word in context and not speak it, obviously, but so they can be trained with a certain amount of words, but they understand.
I mean, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. If they hear hear the same word over and over and over and over again, then they get to the idea that this is what they're supposed. I mean, the word sit. Everyone knows you tell a dog to sit, they won't roll over and beg and everything. They'll sit. And once you do it, once you teach them instructions, they will understand instructions. But they're very limited in the vocabulary amount that they can actually learn. They can't.
Well,
they have to be very intelligent and akin to that kind of thing to be able to have more than a few words.
Yeah.
how about? Come here, little. How about like I can't.
No, that's just a tone that makes them feel. Oh, hold on.
No. How about you say? I don't want to cuss on your stream. That's all. I said. What like you know how your husband said, "Oh, little." Yeah. How about like, hey, you little. Like
I know, but you got to listen to the word that he's using. There is only a very terse way of saying it because of the way the word is. You can't say it in a very nice, calm, relaxed manner because the word doesn't really lend itself to it. You listen to it, say it to yourself, and it's a very sharp, very.
Okay.
It's not like feather, where that's a very smooth flowing word. It's
Yeah.
sharp all the way through it. It's got very sharp
Yeah.
tones through it.
Yeah,
And
he's-
that's
yeah.
what dogs are listening to. They're
I
listening
don't
to
cuss at my
sounds and
dogs,
tones
though.
more. You got to understand, most dogs and cats talk to each other through tones and volume. That's how they talk to each other. It's not the words. I mean, a dog barks. It's a bark. It's a definite tone. It doesn't
Yeah,
change.
I know what you mean, redneck. I do. I do.
It
we had
doesn't change its tone. But unfortunately, humans have various tones throughout. Not only their phrases and their words and the way we say things, but also once we change our emotions or our intensity and everything else, even the sound of that word changes a little bit. But in animals, they don't. When they change sound, they're actually talking a language, and that's what they're listening to.
Well, it's. I'm sorry.
We had a Boston Terrier that would, I mean, Ken would say the F word to him in like the tone that Eli was talking in, and he would still cower. He definitely recognized that word,
Wow.
but he only cowered when Ken said it. If I said it, even if I just said it regularly, he wouldn't cower. But if Ken said it, he would cower. So
you got to remember, dogs also got very good vision, so they know who they're looking at and they know who's doing what.
It's like
they have to, because they have to know the difference between a predator and an enemy and someone who's allowed to be near them type thing.
Well,
so
I just tell my dog, like, okay, calm down now, and that's it. That's all. And he'll go, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, whoa, what did I say? Like, I'm a nice person. That's why. No, but my fiance, she goes, stop it, because he barks at anything and he just attacks anything. And with me, I'm just like, hey, buddy, come on, calm down. And then he goes, like, you know what I mean? Like cars. I mean, I don't know if he's. I don't know. I mean, sometimes, yeah, he does bark a lot, and even at night, he should like he don't want to wake up everybody either. It's like, hey, calm down, come on, and then he calms down.
Eli, what I would just as a suggestion,
yeah, go ahead.
If you go to caesarsway.com, and there'll be like right on the top of the first page that comes up, there's a thing that you can put in. It says my pet does, or my dog does this, or something like that. And it's a place where you can basically type in what your problem is. And if you just type barking into that, you'll come up with some articles on dealing with excessive barking.
Okay.
That have some real easy, like 1, 2, 3, 4 steps on just things you can do to help curb that excessive barking.
Yeah, because he barks at anything.
A lot of things that you do within yourself, and then you deal with the dog. So I think it might help you out if you check that out. So
yeah, like, I mean, we could be nice to
yeah, but it's also, you got to remember the one thing that dogs also react to is your reaction to them doing it. So if every time they bark you stress, they think, oh, hey, I must be doing the right thing because my owner is stressed, and there must be some danger there, so I'm going to keep barking because my owner. And then they start getting stressed because you're getting stressed, so they bark through stress. So if you ignore their barking to a certain amount and don't react as much to them, they don't develop the need to bark attitude when they're young. But once you've got it, there is a lot of techniques that can be used.
Yeah, because I'll be like,
barking.
Yeah, I'll like, go ahead and bark. It doesn't matter. I mean, because some people are just like, oh, we got a guard dog. It's I mean, you can't have them bark like that, because because one day you're gonna have a company over or something that are not used to dogs, and they're just gonna bark at them like they're gonna attack them. You know what I mean? Like, and our dog's not like that, but at the same time,
a true guard dog. I mean, people say, "Oh, my dog barks, so it's a guard dog." No, a true guard dog is trained to bark when there's danger and stop when it's told immediately.
And if the dog growls a lot, it's a guard dog, because they are definitely giving you warning that there, you need to stop. If you don't, I'm going to take it further.
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
It's a guard dog growling at you is akin to a cop saying, "Halt, police." basically. And if you aren't going to heed the warning, then they have to excel it up to the next stage where they need to deal with you as a person who's not doing as they're instructed. And that's what a guard dog's like. They bark to let you know they're a dog. They growl to let you know that they're vicious, and they attack if you ignore them. And that's a very quick response sometimes.
Yep.
Or maybe
I used to have a Rottweiler that was fully trained. Would obey voice commands, would obey hand signals, and would guard my house. He never said a word to anybody until they were in the property. And then he would bark and bail them up so that they couldn't get over the fence. And if they made any moves in the wrong way, he would bite. But that's the way he was trained and the way he was meant to do it. So most of the time I said to people, you want to come in my house, you may as well come through the front door, because my dog doesn't mind you coming through the front door. You come over the fence, he'll rip you to bits.
Exactly.
We had a dog, another Boston Terrier, that if people came in through the gate, she was absolutely fine with it. If people tried to climb our fence, she would literally go for their throat. And we told all the little kids around here, do not climb our fence, come through our gate. And one little boy would not listen, and she went for his throat as he was climbing the fence. And she's smart enough, as soon as she made contact, she realized it was a kid, and she let go.
Ooh.
But there were marks, not bad ones, but there were marks. So,
ooh, was the kid okay?
oh yeah, he was fine. I mean, like I said, they weren't bad. It just barely broke the skin. You know, he wasn't even actually bleeding. So,
well, that's good. Well, I think, yeah.
Hey, Julie, welcome.
I think they're just. Oh, hey, Julie M. How you doing? I say Jill. I say the full name.
I got the same thing with my child. I've got 3 ways of dealing with it. 1, I use stern voice. 2, once that stern voice starts to get ignored, then I do a counting. And when she knows when I get to 3, if I get to 3, she knows damn well shit's gonna hit the fan. My daughter's never taken it to 3 because she knows damn well when Dad says something, he means it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I've also had times where my emotions have taken over because she's annoyed me when I'm a little bit pissed off at something, and she's copped it, which is not a good thing. And straight after I realised I've upset her, she always gets a hug and an apology, because it's not her fault that I was in a bad mood in the first place.
At least you're being honest.
That's an awesome thing for a parent to apologize to their kid.
My daughter gets explained to her why I do what I do and the decisions I make, and she has had the misfortune of having to be smacked once in a while just because she wanted to push it that far.
Ooh.
And now whenever she knows I've got the stage where it's possible, she gets a little bit upset, and I say, I haven't told you that you're going to get one, so you won't get one. So she knows, unless I say it's time for you to have the smack because you're not being good. Yeah. And I've hardly ever touched the kid because she's just such a good kid.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely brilliant little kid. She's got good manners. She considers. Sometimes she gets a little bit on the selfish side and does things she knows she's not supposed to. But that's when normal. I just do the counting, and she's fine.
Oh, but wait till she becomes a teenager, bro. It's yeah.
That's why this training is going in now. Once she realizes that when Dad says something, you do as you're told. Even with a teenager, that will kick in, and she will start saying, "I don't want to piss that off."
Yeah, exactly. Like with
even
mine,
my cats are the same thing. Don't piss me off because you don't like me when I'm pissed off.
Like with mine, like I'm a cool guy. I'm just like, hey, do you mind if you could pick this up and something like that, and pick your room up, and then she just sits there and just ignores me on the phone with her friends. I was like, can you please pick it up? And then she ignores me again. I'm like, give me that phone. I hang it up, and I say, okay, you're gonna clean this room, and then she just slams the door. I said, okay, cool. So then she starts cussing and everything else. I said, you're grounded. Give me that phone. Give me the iPad. You're not talking to your friends. All you're doing is just sitting in your room. You know, you come off for dinner or whatever, you know, lunch or whatever. But, you know, it took away everything that she likes to do.
Yeah, and it's not just explaining. You also make them think exactly what they're doing and why they're the ones getting into trouble and why the situation went to it. Like I'll say to my daughter, I'll say to her, So how come this situation's gone all awful? It's nice before. What is it in this situation that's changed? What part of the situation might be causing the problem? And she
Hi,
looks at it
Tim.
and I go, do you think it might be that I'm getting a little bit too grumpy, or do you think I'm getting grumpy because I wasn't grumpy before, and I was only grumpy till you did this? Do you think maybe you're the problem at the moment? Do you think maybe you need to think about what it is you're doing and how it's affecting people around you? And she sits there and thinks about it.
I'm going to steer this back a little bit here. Travis has a good one that is, this is a really good thing. He says the one thing that he's learned is if a dog is excited when somebody walks in the door, turn your back towards them until they sit. That's teaching them that you don't jump.
Exactly. What's up?
And I know for people with, especially with bigger dogs, that's really important. But I know even for my dogs, even though they're smaller, I had to teach them not to jump up because I know, like, my mom comes over in her nice clothes and her nylons, and she doesn't want my dog's claws ruining her clothes. So that's an important thing to do.
I don't know. I reckon that's a good thing because then your mum don't.
I kind of got confused when I looked at your picture when I first came in, and it looks like a woman with a husband. And I thought, okay, is she gonna train us how to? Is it gonna be full of wives on there, and it's gonna be like, hey, this is how you train your husband. I'm like, I'm not gonna go on panel for that.
Hey, I put clickbait on purpose.
I thought you were gonna have all ladies up here. No, listen, you need to do this.
People say that you can't train cats. Cats are too obstinate. They're too pig-headed. They do what they want. And it's the old saying is people own dogs. Cats have slaves. And that's basically how people see the relationship between cats and dogs and people. My cats, I almost trained them to go to the toilet, in our toilet. But I couldn't be bothered sitting there going through the processes of doing it. So and the wife said, "No, bugger that. We'll just give them a litter tray." My cats will sit for their dinner like dogs will. One of my cats will fetch. So you throw something, tell it to fetch. It'll go pick it up, bring it back to you to drop it in front of you like they do, and sit and wait till you pick it up and throw it again. And that's a cat.
I'm gonna type your name out because I can't really say it. You play the
His name is Tim.
Oh, Tim. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I forget. I'm not good with names, guys. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah, I haven't figured out how to say that one either. So
Tim. Okay, Tim.
I used to have 7 cats, and they would all sit and wait. I mean, when it was time for dinner, they knew they would actually go to the tray right at 4 o'clock and wait for me. And they would sit there and meow occasionally until I came in and got their food for them. But they would just sit and wait very politely, and Yep. So.
And now I only have to say a word, my cats will do it. My daughter tries to do it, but it's who's saying it, the tone they use, and the fact that the cats are used to it. Like when our cats, because now our cats are outside cats, we hardly see them. They come and say hello when they feel like it, which is fine. They're cats. But at night, I guarantee them to come in. If they don't come in, they don't get fed.
Yeah.
And they learn it's either come in or be hungry. But when they come in, it's feed, and I only have to use the word bed, and they know exactly where they're supposed to go. But my daughter is taking over the responsibility of the cats, feeding them and putting them to bed, and she chases them all over the house trying to get them to go to bed, and they just don't understand her. Or they choose not to respect her enough to listen.
Yeah. Travis has had a lot of really good things to say. Travis, when you are able to get your phone working again for a camera, I'd like to have you up on panel. But we're coming up on just a couple minutes short of an hour, so I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this down so that it's short and watchable for people to come back and look at. So thanks for coming up, Gaffa and Eli.
Before you go,
Thanks to everybody in the chat.
Cesar the Dog Whisperer, folks, check him out.
Yep,
It is
Cesar
one of
Millan.
Yep, it is one of Susan's mentors, basically, in her life when it comes to this. So if you want more information, a little bit different aspect to what Susan has, it's basically down the same lines. Check him out. He's actually rather good at what he does.
Yep, go to caesarsway.com. And there's just anything you want to know about his version of dog training and what I'm trying to teach is there. So, all right, guys, take care. Thanks for coming. I will see you next time.
Thanks for having us, Susan.
Thank you.